So, you want to get started in witchcraft, but you don't know where to start. This is a very common question I get all the time about how do I start in witchcraft, how do I start doing spells, how do I begin as a witch? I sat down and thought about this question and thought about the advice I would have given myself when I was first starting my witchcraft journey, and so I've put together a video for you guys. Of course, my tips may be different than someone else's, and that's because witchcraft is so unique to the individual. Everyone's on their own path, and there's so many different beliefs and practices out there, it's insane. So my advice may not be the same as another witch's advice, and I think that makes it special in itself. So today we're going to talk all about how to become a witch and how to get started in witchcraft from my own personal experience. Okay, to start, as I was just saying, there's so many different ways to be a witch, and so I just want to clarify right now, you don't have to have a dark baptism under a blood moon in the woods in a wedding dress, and sign the Book of the Beast to be a witch. You can literally right now watch this video and decide, I'm a witch, and then start your research and practice from there. Of course, it all takes time. And so witchcraft is a path just like any other spiritual type path, and of course there's going to be different people in very different backgrounds that are going to come into it. And so I want to say right now, because this is a very common question, it's okay if you were raised in another religion. If you were raised strictly Christian or Catholic or something else, it's totally okay. You can still practice witchcraft. It doesn't mean that you aren't a witch. You don't have to have a family history of witches and have Book of Shadows passed down to you and spells passed down to you to be a witch. You can start that tradition in your family right now, and maybe it'll start and end with you, or maybe it'll continue on. Either way, no matter where you come from, you can be a witch. The witch comes from within, and so if you resonate with this path, then go towards it, follow it. Overcome the belief that you have to be raised on witchcraft to be a witch. Overcome the belief that you won't be accepted into witchcraft because you were raised in a different religion. Most witches are really chill. The online witch community is amazing. The witches I've met in person have been amazing. Really, what defines you as a witch is what you let define you. Witchcraft is about a beautiful connection with nature and using natural things and natural elements and natural items to create magic and alter things in your life. Now, what I would say first is, if you're looking to start in witchcraft, first answer the question, what is a witch to you? Now, I ask you this because people picture witches in so many different ways. Some people see them as devil worshippers. Some people see them as, people on Instagram who dress like witches. Some people see them as very serious religious people. Some of these apply to some witches and some of these don't. So it's important to figure out what you picture as a witch and why you're drawn to witchcraft in the first place. And so asking yourself, what is a witch to me, will help you to realize why you're being pulled to be a witch. And then research that. Type that in Google. What is a witch? See what pops up. There's going to be a lot of different answers, and hopefully videos like this that can also help you out. When you can define what a witch is to you, it will help to align you to your path in witchcraft so much better and help you to get a better understanding of what you're hoping to get out of this practice and why you're pursuing it in the first place. The reason I say to research this is because there's so much misleading information, and it's nothing to be ashamed of for believing, but it's important to research these things so that you can better align with what the Wiccan belief is and what the witchcraft belief is, because there is a difference between a Wiccan and somebody who's just a witch. And so it's important to research these and see if you want to follow the Wiccan religion or if you branch off more towards, a green witch or some other type of witch that has a different path. The next thing is, don't have any expectations, okay? There's so much misleading information about witchcraft, and it can make people think that immediately they're gonna know how to do these big spells and rituals. And I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't work like that. And so you can look at awesome videos on YouTube and great information on Google that's super helpful in starting rituals and spells, and I highly recommend doing that, but you're not gonna know how you do them until you're practicing for a little bit. And so when I say that, it's because, like I said before, it's so unique to the individual. So you're not going to know how you do spells and rituals and what works best for you until you're practicing for a bit. So it's best to start small and not have expectations. If your first ritual doesn't go well, it's okay. If it doesn't go well a second time, great. If it doesn't go well a third time, even better, because now you're learning and you're practicing and you're getting the hang of working with these things. You gotta not have expectations going into witchcraft, because if you do and you try and you fail at certain things that you set expectations for, you're going to feel very off in witchcraft and not very welcome. You're not going to feel like yourself. You're going to question if you're on the right path because you don't, know how to do all these things right off the bat. That's normal. We've all had to learn this. I feel like that's a great way to sum up adult life as well. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it and we'll see how it works out. That's basically what witchcraft is, and so don't beat yourself up if you don't get a spell right or a ritual right or anything like that. Some people may be born with a more heightened sense and a stronger intuition. You can develop these things over time. Anybody can do it because it's our natural ability, our intuition, our magic. It comes from within and we all have it. A lot of people just don't work to channel it, and so you gotta put the work in and not expect yourself to be a professional right off the bat. You gotta take your time and feel those wins and those losses and really see what works for you best and get your own rhythm going that way. And honestly, you can't even do it wrong to begin with because it's so unique to the individual, so open and so free. There's so many different ways to do things. You are your own limit. Your soul is your limit to your magic. So if you keep trying, you're going to get to where you want to be. The next thing I get asked all the time because of these pictures I take on Instagram and what other witches put on Instagram of these really intricate altar setups with, skulls and herbs and bottles and potions and just different things. The question I get asked all the time is, how can I be a witch if I can't afford to be one? Well, honey, you don't, no. You don't have to buy anything to be a witch. Like I said, that's why I said in the beginning, you can decide right now you're a witch. You don't need to have candles, you don't need to have bottles or skulls or crystals or herbs. You just need yourself. The magic is within you. It's not within those objects. It's within you. And so these objects, these things we have like crystals and herbs, they help to amplify certain energies with their different properties. And so they can help our magic to be stronger, but they don't create the magic itself. That comes from within us. And so while it's awesome to have all these great witchy things, you don't need them. You can literally start right now with absolutely nothing and just start working with your own energy. Witchcraft is literally you being your most raw self. Your energetic phase, connecting with other energy and manipulating it and using it to create something magical. It's all within you, and all that ancient knowledge and all the intuitive abilities and the ability to express your magic, you have that ancient wisdom within you. We all do. And likely if you're drawn to the path of the witch, it's because you were connected to it somehow in a past life. And so as you do more of what connects to you on this path and listen to your intuition on this path and follow that and do what you feel is right, you're going to channel a lot of ancient wisdom that will help to guide you to where you need to be. That will help to pull you to certain things in witchcraft, such as crystals or herbs or something of that sort, and that will help you to figure out where you need to focus. I can tell you right now, as a practicing witch for several years, I still get that pull all the time. Sometimes I'm really drawn to rose quartz, and that's telling me that I need to do some healing or some inner work, some self-love. Or I could be really drawn to amethyst one day and maybe I need a little extra protection. Maybe I need to connect to my intuition a little bit more. No matter what it is, you're going to feel that pull to certain things out of the blue for no reason. And that's that ancient wisdom telling you, hey, this is going to help you on your path. This is going to help align you with where you need to be, and this is what's going to help your magic the most right now and where you need to be putting the focus. So my point here is don't worry about the cost. When I was first starting in witchcraft, as many people do, they do worry about the cost because they feel like they need to have all these things in order to be a witch, and it's not true. Then I realized that being a witch is connecting with nature, and so it only makes sense to collect things from nature, right? And so I realized that I could just go outside and collect pine cones or dirt or sticks or leaves, and that could be used to create an altar. That could be used to meditate with and use in my sacred space. So go outside and see what you're drawn to, see what calls to you, and use that. Use that to start your collection right off the bat and go with what feels right. This is going to help you so much more than spending hundreds of dollars on crystals online. Going with what you feel is right in the moment, that's true magic right there. My next piece of advice is to focus on one thing at a time. When you start witchcraft and you see all the amazing things in it and you get really drawn to it, trust me, you're gonna wanna learn about everything. And the problem with that is there's so much to learn. From herbs to crystals to scrying to tasseography to occultism, there's just so many different things. So you need to pick one right off the bat that you're drawn to the most. And likely you'll have an idea of what that was because it's probably what pulled you into the interest of being on the path of the witch. And so for me, it was crystals. From there, I started learning about them. I started looking them up online and seeing the different meanings, what different chakras they connected with, what energy they provided, and what spells they were used for, and I went from there. If you guys aren't sure what you want to start with, do a little meditation, a 5-minute meditation. Think about the path of witchcraft and see what pops up in your mind. Think about, what do I want to learn? What do I need to learn now? And see what comes to your mind first. Is it, maybe you see a flower, maybe that's telling you to learn about herbs. Or maybe you see a stone that's telling you to learn about crystals, or maybe you see a skull and that's telling you to learn about ancestors and the dead. It's best to start with the simpler things because that'll help you to get a better grip on things such as divination and scrying and just intricate rituals and stuff like that. So starting with the basics is definitely really good here, and it will help you out so much more than just diving headfirst into something really, really big. And of course, also another thing is that I should have mentioned before was really research protection and get a grip on that right off the bat. There's a lot of different ways to protect yourself in witchcraft. A lot of people cast circles, a lot of people do circles in meditation or circles with solids. Lots of circles going. There's no squares going, it's circles. But this is something that's key that you want to learn about right away, because doing anything in witchcraft, whether it is connecting with spirits or just working with crystals, you're going to be exposed to a lot more energy now, and you're basically telling your intuition like, hey, I want to receive this energy. So you're just going to be open, and your aura field's going to be open, and so you're going to draw things in. So protection is necessary, because where there's good energy, there's also bad, and so you just have to make sure that you protect yourself. So researching this is so key, and you can also just do this simply by doing meditation. You don't need salt circles or anything like that, or protection amulets. Of course, those are great too, but if you just want to get started with protection right off the bat, close your eyes, visualize a circle around you, and send in good thoughts of positive energy, strength, and protection, and tell yourself that nothing negative can get in this circle. The next thing I would say is research. Research like crazy. Watch videos, watch YouTubers, read books, read articles, find documentaries, go to the library, find influencers that are witches, and find ones that align with your path and follow them. There's so many different ways to research, but it's so key because witchcraft is such a big chunk of information. There's just so much to it and so many different sides to it. And so it's so important to research it and get a hang on it and see how it calls to you, how it aligns with you, and what it is to you. And that's going to be your biggest thing, is just research. Just finding all the information you can and seeing if it resonates with you or not. Now, obviously the next step is to just practice like crazy, practice little things every single day, and just really start putting yourself out there and letting the universe know that you are on this path. And you know, you can put magic into everything, and it can be the littlest things. Like in the morning, you can take your cup of coffee and you can sit there and close your eyes and just hold it and visualize the word positivity and send it down your arms into your hands in a white light and into the cup, and then drink the cup. That's a form of consecration and putting magic into little things, because that's sending intention in everything, and intention is the key to creating magic and doing witchcraft. It's always about intention and intuition. And so it can be something as simple as that, and going outside and spending time in nature, just spending time with yourself, seeing what really calls to you and just balancing that energy. And also you can do simple things like cloud scrying. You can look at the clouds and ask a question in your mind or out loud and see if you can see shapes or words in the sky or feelings that come to you. These are all intuitive messages, and these are all real messages. You can also do simple practices even more so by reading people's energy. How do you feel around certain people? Do you feel uncomfortable around this person, and maybe you feel really good around this person? Is this person not a good person you're not getting good vibes from? Do you feel fearful around this person for no reason? Trust those things, because that's going to strengthen your intuition and help you get a better hang at reading people's energy, because that's a big part of witchcraft too, is it's mingling with different energies and reading them and interpreting them in different ways and then manipulating the energies to create something. And so that's a simple way to really get a hang on your intuition and start listening to the messages it's telling you, because when you start listening, your intuition is going to go, okay, you want to hear from me? Cool, I'll keep sending you messages. But if you don't listen to it and you kind of brush it off and say, that's not a real feeling, it doesn't, I'm just overthinking it, your intuition's going to go, oh, you don't want to hear from me, and it's going to shrink and you're not going to hear from it very much. So this is really key in getting a hang on your practice. Of course, there's so many different ways. I could create a whole video about, different practices you can do as a beginner witch, and maybe I will. But this is what I would say as somebody who wants to get into witchcraft. Just have faith and follow your intuition. That's the best advice I can give you. From there, it will guide you. Other people may have information I didn't talk about, but like I said, this is what I would have told myself in the beginning, because it would have helped me so much. I was a lost little baby witch and didn't really know where to start, and this advice would have really helped me. Of course, I figured it out on my own, as you will too. So as long as you keep on the path, you may stray from it time to time. That's okay. You don't have to do spells every day to be a witch. Okay, it's much more than that. We don't do spells and stuff like that every day either. It's just not, it takes a lot of energy. We don't always do that. So just to be a witch, you just have to believe and have faith and not give up on your journey, because it'll guide you somewhere, and you're obviously drawn to it for a reason. There's always a reason behind everything, so trust that. And remember, in those hard times, when you're questioning your path, remember why you started on it, and remember why you were drawn to it, and that will help to guide you to where you need to be. That's the best advice I could give you. If other witches are watching this, please comment below and give advice to any people that are looking to start on their witchcraft journey, as this may be super helpful to them. And I will reference some amazing YouTubers that I love that have so much information in the links below in my description, so you can check those out. I love all of these people, and they are really, really inspiring and informative witches in the community, so definitely check those out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be making a video about how I started on my witchcraft journey if you are curious about how I got to where I came to be, and you can check that out too. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good luck on your journey, and my inbox is always open if you have any questions or just want a witchy friend. I love you guys.